What's up and welcome to My Point of View. I am your fat and opinionated host, and they have now unsealed multiple search warrants in the Bryan Kohberger case. Not only have they unsealed the search warrant for Bryan Kohberger's parents' house, but they also unsealed the search warrant for Bryan Kohberger's vehicle. And I think the items that they found are really interesting. In fact, I think they are really telling, but just because they found some of these items, such as a knife, it's not as much about what items they found, it's about can they tie these items to the crime. But another thing that sticks out to me is some of the items that they literally pulled and yanked out of Bryan Kohberger's car. They took Bryan Kohberger's car apart, and some of those parts they took with them straight to the lab. And I don't know if maybe they, figured there was some DNA or something they could find on these car parts or what. But there's a lot of stuff here. They took a lot of items. And I want to go ahead and just hop right into this article so we can all figure out what's going on here. A Pennsylvania court has unsealed additional documents in the Idaho student murders case, revealing that police seized a knife during a raid on the suspect's parents' home in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania State Police and the FBI arrested suspect Bryan Kohberger at his parents' house on December 30th in a nighttime tactical raid. They searched the home, his car, the garage, and a shed on the property. The new warrants reveal police took a door panel from his car, seat cushions, headrests, seatbelt, visor, brake and gas pedals, a Band-Aid, maps and documents, and other items. From the house, police seized several weapons, including a knife and a Glock handgun with 3 magazines. They took a cell phone, a laptop, and black face masks, as well as a black hat. The list included a prescription, a green leafy substance in a container, vehicle paperwork, and other documents, including a phone bill and a handwritten password and a book with underlining on page 118. Additional items seized in the December 30th raid on Kohberger's parents' home include a computer, hardware, paperwork from Washington State University, where he was studying for a PhD in criminology. Police were looking for anything that they could connect Kohberger. Police were looking for anything that could connect Kohberger with the victims, including evidence he had been surveilling them or compiling information. So there's a long list of items that they took out of this house. And in a future video, maybe in the next video or the video after that, I'll go over this whole list of items. But obviously, what I want to focus on here in this video is that green leafy substance that they found. I didn't think Bryan Kohberger was the stoner type, but it looks like he is. And you know what? After covering this case or covering Bryan Kohberger for the last month or so, I need some green leafy substances my damn self. Now, obviously, I'm kind of halfway joking, and the real focus of this video, what I really want to focus on here, is the fact, of course, we have to talk about the weapons. Was this gun that they seized, did this belong to Bryan Kohberger's father, or was this Kohberger's? And, I fully, support the right to bear arms and things of that nature. But I really would be kind of freaked out if Bryan Kohberger was walking around strapped up as well. Because, we already know are innocent until proven guilty. But it appears as if all signs, the evidence is pointing towards the fact that Bryan Kohberger must have snapped and took the lives of 4 young individuals, allegedly. Knowing that he possibly may be capable of doing something like that, it would freak me out knowing that he's walking around here with a gun. Also, I would wonder, was he planning on doing something to someone else? Not only did they find a handgun, they found 2 knives. Now, I'm not a blade expert, and also sometimes the way they describe the items they find in these cases, and then when you see actual pictures of the items, once you get to trial, they look different than what you pictured in your mind. But it doesn't seem like these knives are the type of knives that would be with the sheath that they found at the home. But you never really know. One of these knives could be the murder weapon. Do I think that's the case? Not necessarily. If it is, then that is great. That it's weird, but we're hoping. It may sound weird, but we're hoping that one of those knives is the murder weapon, right? That's what we're hoping for, fingers crossed. But I don't necessarily think that's the case. But if it's not the case, then why is Bryan Kohberger? He has the right to do so, I guess, but he's got multiple knives, firearm, black masks, and gloves. And sure, all of that stuff can kind of be explained away, but when you're the suspect in a crime like this, and you've already been arrested in a crime like this, it doesn't look good at all. So, we could ponder all day over whether this is the weapon or not. That's something we'll find out in the future. And I think we'll touch on that more in the future on my videos. But nevertheless, it's interesting that they found those items. And I would really like to know, do those items specifically belong to Bryan Kohberger, or could they have possibly belonged to someone else in the home? Now, the other things that stick out to me, of course, is the fact that they basically tore this car apart. They took a whole panel out of the car. They took the sun visor out of the car. Cushions, headrest out of the car. Brake pedal, gas pedal out of the car. Now, I'm not saying that this means that there is anything like DNA evidence or blood splatters in that vehicle. But I would think that they could go over this vehicle without taking it apart, right? That's what I would think. So seeing as they took these items out of the car, that makes me think that at the very least they have a reason to believe that there's something to be found here. In my opinion. And maybe it's nothing. Maybe they're like, hey, before we even look at the gas pedal, we're just going to take it out the car. But I don't think that's the case. I think they would have already looked through the vehicle. They possibly found some interesting things or found some things that were suspicious on the parts of the car that they decided to take out of the vehicle. That's my opinion. Will that be the case? I don't know. But I find it interesting that they went so far as to, hey, we're going to take the whole side panel out of this vehicle. We're going to take the gas pedal and the brake pedal. And we're basically going to take out the whole driver's seat side of the car almost. You know what I mean? So Maybe they're just automatically doing that, or maybe they found something and they wanted to take a closer look, or maybe to take it one step further, they found something, they already confirmed and know for a fact that it's there, and this is evidence. You know what I mean? Like these brake pedals and gas pedals, that may be evidence that will come up in the trial. I think that is highly likely. So knowing that they took these items in, I don't think that looks good for Kohberger at all. You know what I mean? If I was Kohberger and I knew that they took these items in, I would be sweating bullets right now. But yeah, there's so much stuff that they took out of this home. There's other updates in this case that I want to talk about as well, and other new information coming out about Kohberger. So I will have multiple videos coming out soon, probably tomorrow for the most part. But as of right now, I want to look through these items, got to think about this a little bit, and I want to hear from you all. What do you all think of this? Let me know down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit the thumbs up button, hit the subscribe button, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all in the next video. And as always, remember, remain opinionated.